Chelsea! Get over here, Chelsea!
No, I just told you he got shit to do. My brother's came out of the house now.
I don't want to do this, Jen.
Sleep well. Oh, I am. You sleep well.
She thought she could scream at cops, but the ending was a total nightmare.
I have no reason to the rest. I have no reason. The camera's on. The camera's on.
How do you stop that? I don't care.
And my mom.
They thought they were above the law, but these Karens faced a real meltdown. Here are videos of police encountering real-life crazy Karens whose actions led to completely nightmarish outcomes. On January 23, 2023, officers were dispatched to a medical facility after reports of a woman leaving her approximately 5-year-old daughter unattended for over 30 minutes.
30 minutes, we don't know where you've been, you weren't in the bathroom. She had our key, and then she told me, hold on, I'm on the phone. And we're like, what?
Initially, the officers couldn't locate the woman. They spoke to the child who mentioned arriving by taxi, not a car. The mother was eventually found sitting on a bench outside, seemingly unconcerned.
No, ella no está sola, yo la dejé con ella y otra señora.
She said that the kid was never by herself, that she left the kid with her.
When confronted about leaving her child, she dismissed the officers, saying she was on the phone. The woman's behavior raised concerns. She appeared disoriented, laughed randomly, and showed little care for her daughter's whereabouts.
Do you speak in Spanish?
No, she's gonna talk for me.
Police.
No, I speak English.
So, I need police Spanish. Okay.
The officers took the child to a conference room inside the facility for safety, suspecting possible issues like kidnapping or child trafficking due to the mother's indifference. The woman claimed she left her daughter with another person, but that individual denied being tasked with watching the child.
My daughter started school today, so she stopped here because she wanted to go to the bathroom.
The mother, who primarily spoke Spanish, required a translator. She explained she had moved from South Carolina to Florida 2 weeks prior and had stopped at the facility to use the bathroom as she couldn't take her daughter out of school. She also claimed her daughter had been bitten by a dog, though no bite marks were found.
Wait, get my hand out of that.
Further investigation revealed the woman had arrived in the U.S. from Venezuela 15 days earlier, seeking political asylum. A friend who had known her for 7 years from their time as reporters in Venezuela said she was fleeing an abusive husband. However, he noted she was not mentally stable, suffering from anxiety and panic attacks, and admitted to smoking cocaine. The friend explained that a pastor had driven the woman and her daughter to the facility after the alleged dog bite, but left them there without ensuring their safety.
Probably not. Yeah, it's okay for fake time.
Is Devin 94?
Ya, pero ya va.
Okay. Because I thought she went over there to the bathroom. She's on something.
The woman's erratic behavior continued, including wandering the building and laughing inappropriately. Her family in Venezuela, contacted by phone, confirmed her mental health struggles. The child, who spoke English, was kept with nursing staff at the facility's urgent care for her safety while the situation was assessed.
Don't take me.
The woman was charged with child neglect, resisting arrest, and 2 counts of battery on a law enforcement officer after spitting on multiple officers, once during her arrest and again while being booked at the police station. On January 12, 2025, in a small Ohio town, a routine hotel checkout turned into a dramatic confrontation when police were summoned to address a guest, Lindsay, who refused to vacate her room past the designated 10:30 a.m. checkout time.
Lindsay, it's the police. Open up.
The incident, unfolding over a tense hour, revealed a clash of wills between a defiant woman and exasperated officers, culminating in her arrest and a series of charges that underscored the complexity of the encounter.
Right? You said your ride was supposed to be at 11 o'clock, right? So now it's 11:40. It's 11:46. Okay, well, it's 11:46. It's past that time.
The hotel, a modest establishment catering to travelers, had a clear policy. Guests were expected to check out by 10:30 a.m. According to the hotel manager, Lindsay had been informed of this deadline well in advance. She had acknowledged it, mentioning that her ride, either a friend or her mother, would pick her up around 11 a.m. However, as the clock ticked toward 11:46 a.m., Lindsay remained in her room, showing no signs of preparing to leave. The manager, growing increasingly frustrated as the room needed to be cleaned and prepared for incoming guests, decided to involve the authorities. The delay was not only an inconvenience but a violation of the hotel's rental agreement, which Lindsay had signed upon checking in.
Let's go. Lindsay, you got 4 minutes.
Time's a ticking.
When police officers arrived at the hotel, they approached the situation with a measured tone, hoping to resolve it quickly. They knocked on Lindsay's door, identifying themselves and explaining the need for her to vacate the room. The manager had already extended her some leeway, allowing her until 11:40 a.m. to gather her belongings, but Lindsay's lack of action prompted the call to law enforcement. The officers suggested she could wait in the hotel's lobby for her ride, a reasonable compromise given the circumstances. However, Lindsay's response was marked by resistance. She claimed she was in the process of getting dressed, but the officers observed little evidence of progress. Instead, they found her lingering in the room with the television on and her belongings largely untouched.
All right, stop.
As the interaction progressed, the officers' patience began to wear thin. They reminded Lindsay that her rental agreement clearly outlined the checkout time, and her failure to comply constituted trespassing. The situation took a more serious turn when one officer noticed what appeared to be a needle in the room, raising immediate concerns about possible drug-related activity. This discovery shifted the tone of the encounter, adding a layer of suspicion to Lindsay's already uncooperative behavior. The officers pressed her to gather her things and leave, emphasizing that she no longer had a legal right to remain in the room. They offered her a brief window, initially 5 minutes, then extended to 10, to comply, but Lindsay's actions remained sluggish and defiant.
My friend is trying to come pick me up.
Slide your feet in there. Hey, we're gonna have to put her in.
No!
Yes, we are.
My friend is picking me up.
Lindsay repeatedly insisted that she was trying to dress and that her ride was on its way. She mentioned both a friend and her mother as potential drivers, but the officers, now skeptical, pointed out that she had had ample time to prepare. Her excuses did little to diffuse the situation, as her lack of cooperation only heightened the tension. The officers, growing frustrated, reiterated that she faced arrest if she did not leave voluntarily. They attempted to assist her by handing her clothes, urging her to put on her pants, but Lindsay's responses were evasive. She argued that she was complying, yet her actions, sitting on the bed engaging in minimal effort, suggested otherwise.
I'm alright.
No. We told you no. We're not cutting you
I have a
slack.
friend
I don't
that is
care.
picking me up and my
I don't
mom.
care.
The confrontation escalated when Lindsay's resistance turned physical. As officers moved to escort her from the room, she became combative, attempting to pull away and at one point trying to kick an officer. This aggression prompted the officers to restrain her, a decision they justified by her refusal to cooperate and her potential threat to their safety. In the police cruiser, Lindsay's defiance continued. She refused to sit properly, leading to a struggle that culminated in her being hogtied to prevent further resistance. The officers explained that this measure was necessary due to her earlier attempt to kick them, a claim Lindsay denied, insisting she was merely trying to adjust her position.
I was unaware of what the time was.
You have a phone. You were on your phone. You had your phone with you. I'm sure
Throughout the ordeal, Lindsay maintained her innocence, repeatedly asking to be allowed to go home. She claimed to have a good job and argued that she had done nothing wrong, but the officers countered that her actions, refusing to leave the hotel, possessing drug paraphernalia, and physically resisting, had led to her current predicament. Her belongings, including her phone and AirPods, were secured and transported to the police station, where she was processed for booking.
Stand up.
Not leaving till I have my shit.
Put your flip-flops on.
The incident highlighted the challenges of enforcing compliance in seemingly routine situations. For the hotel staff, it was a matter of maintaining operations. For the officers, it was about upholding the law while managing an uncooperative individual. Lindsay's refusal to acknowledge the checkout policy, combined with the discovery of drug-related items, transformed Lindsay was ultimately arrested and faced charges of resisting arrest, disorderly conduct, and drug possession. These accusations stemmed from her refusal to leave the hotel room, her combative behavior during the encounter, and the discovery of pills and drug paraphernalia in her possession. If convicted, she could face significant legal consequences, marking a stark contrast to her claims of innocence and her assertion of having a stable job in life. On September 3, 2022, police were called to a family gathering after a couple's argument escalated. The incident began at a pool where everyone was enjoying themselves until alcohol fueled a dispute. The man involved explained to officers that he and his partner of 5 years, who share a child, were arguing over his perceived lack of involvement in parenting. The woman, identified as the aggressor, became increasingly agitated.
Okay. What is going on tonight that's got you guys arguing that we have to get called out here?
It's nothing. She just thought I wasn't being over for the kids. It just alcohol. It's something silly.
The man recounted that the argument started when his partner accused him of not helping enough with their child. Her sister and sister-in-law, present at the scene, tried to calm her down, urging her to step away to avoid further conflict. Despite efforts to de-escalate, the woman continued arguing, ignoring attempts to defuse the situation. The man emphasized that alcohol played a significant role in her behavior, stating, "It's from alcohol."
I need you two guys to do this. Stand over here. My man, can you do me a favor? Can you guys all hang out here for a second so we can get the room empty?
Police attempted to separate the parties to manage the situation safely. The woman, however, resisted, refusing to cooperate or engage calmly. Officers instructed the family to stand aside while they escorted her outside to prevent further escalation. The man and his relatives were asked to wait so they could retrieve their belongings after the situation was under control. The woman's behavior grew more erratic as officers tried to guide her to a patrol car. She shouted profanities, accused officers of mistreating her, and physically resisted, demanding to be let go.
You nasty ass cop. Let me go. Let me go. Oh, let me go. You nasty ass.
At one point, she complained about the tightness of her handcuffs, claiming they were cutting off circulation. Officers responded by adding a second pair of handcuffs to relieve pressure, ensuring they were not too tight. Despite these efforts, she continued to struggle and protest, yelling about her discomfort and the situation. The property manager issued a trespass warning, informing her that she was no longer authorized to be on the premises and could face arrest if she returned. Her family was unable to locate her purse immediately, but assured officers that someone would come to bond her out. Throughout the ordeal, she remained uncooperative, facing the officers with verbal hostility and physical resistance. The incident, driven by alcohol and emotional intensity, culminated in her being taken into custody.
They don't know where it is right now, but one of them will be coming down to bond you out, so you don't have to worry about credit cards.
She was charged with resisting arrest and battery on an officer. Her behavior, marked by a serious outburst, likely stemmed from intoxication and the fact that she was the only one arrested during the incident. The combination of alcohol and the stress of the situation appeared to amplify her reaction, leading to the charges filed against her. On August 17, 2022, police officers in Savannah responded to a report of shots fired in a neighborhood. Upon arrival, they encountered a man limping and acting evasive. When questioned, he claimed he didn't know what happened, only that he heard gunshots and saw 3 teenagers, described as little dudes, fleeing toward a nearby housing project. He was reluctant to provide details, saying he needed to get his mother's car. Officers noted his standoffish demeanor, but continued their investigation.
I gotta get my mama car.
Where's that?
34. Right at the next door to Ebony House. Joe, go get that car. The keys in it.
Go get the car for 34. So
What's going on? You're in the area. What'd you hear?
Witnesses reported seeing 2 teens, one in a white shirt and black pants, the other shirtless. Following the man's vague directions, officers investigated the area where the teens reportedly fled. They soon encountered a shirtless teenager matching the description. When approached, he was uncooperative, refusing to identify himself and attempting to leave. As officers tried to detain him, his sister intervened, escalating the situation. She physically blocked officers, yelled, and refused to provide her identity, claiming to be the guardian in their mother's absence. The scene grew chaotic as she resisted detention, arguing her right to protect her brother.
Where's his mom? Where's his mom?
I'm his sister. I'm his adult.
Where's his mom?
No, I'm the parent. That's him. Yeah, I'm the parent. That's him. You ain't got to talk.
Neighbors contacted the teen's mother, who arrived upset, citing prior negative experiences with police. She argued that her daughter, listed as an emergency contact, should be allowed to handle the situation. The mother insisted officers had no right to enter her home or detain her children without her present. Officers clarified that no one entered her home and they were only trying to identify the teens due to their proximity to the shots fired incident. They explained that in public housing, they have the authority to identify individuals, and the daughter's actions, physically interfering and refusing to cooperate, constituted obstruction. The mother disputed the obstruction charge, arguing her daughter was protecting her sibling and that officers should have recognized the teen, who had no shoes and came from their home. She referenced past incidents where she felt officers overstepped, including one where an officer allegedly drew a weapon on her son at their doorway. Officers acknowledged her concerns but maintained that the daughter's interference and refusal to identify herself led to her detention. They emphasized they only sought identification, not incriminating statements, and needed the parent or legal guardian present for further questioning.
Hey, Tyler, what the f*** you doing? Why don't you mad handling me? I ain't pushing around. I ain't pushing around. I'm trying to check my face. You got me f***ed up.
Ultimately, Both teens were released. The investigation into the shots fired incident concluded without finding shell casings, property damage, or injuries. The daughter, however, was charged with obstruction and disorderly conduct, with a court date set for later. The officers stressed that her actions, physically hindering their investigation and causing a disturbance, resulted in the charges despite her claims of protecting her brother and asserting her rights. On the night of April 28, 2022, at the North Beach Garage on Pia, the lively atmosphere of a bustling bar took a chaotic turn for Ashley Gerber and her friends. The evening began with the group out to enjoy themselves, but trouble brewed when a security guard approached Ashley and asked her to leave the premises. Initially confused, Ashley claimed she didn't understand the request, but she complied after what she described as an aggressive encounter with the guard. According to her, the guard's actions escalated into an assault, leaving her feeling targeted and shaken. Determined to avoid further conflict, she left the bar and headed toward her vehicle.
I didn't understand it at first, but I did after he had aggressive assault on me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And I've left the situation, so I don't even understand what we're talking right now, man.
Outside, the situation remained tense. Ashley's friends, upset by the guard's alleged aggression, gathered around her, claiming he had grabbed her inappropriately, possibly by the neck. Their outrage fueled a heated exchange as they defended Ashley, insisting she had left peacefully. By the time law enforcement arrived, responding to a call about a disturbance, Ashley was near her vehicle, ready to go home. The officers approached to investigate, but the interaction quickly spiraled.
And that's why my friends got upset. I got upset because he wasn't making it clear of what it was.
Okay. Okay, I got
Yes,
you.
ma'am.
What's a good phone number?
Ashley questioned why she was being detained, asserting she had done nothing wrong and had followed the guard's orders to leave. The officers, however, had received a different story, one that painted Ashley as the aggressor in an altercation inside the bar. Witnesses provided conflicting accounts. Some supported Ashley's claim that she was the victim, while others alleged she had hit and kicked another person. Frustrated and feeling unfairly targeted, Ashley challenged the officers' authority, accusing them of acting on false pretenses. Her tone grew confrontational as she brought up race, noting that a black man she allegedly assaulted wasn't pressing charges, unlike others involved.
Okay, what's with the attitude, bro?
Because you sadly mistaken about where you're at.
No, you don't know your laws. Okay? Did you go to law school? Did you go to the police academy? Okay, so you know street law, which is not law at all.
The officers explained that Ashley was being detained for disorderly conduct and wasn't free to leave while they investigated. Her friends tried to mediate, urging her to stay calm, but Ashley's anger intensified. She demanded her rights be read and insisted she was being unjustly detained. As the officers moved to arrest her, citing her resistance, a struggle ensued. Ashley protested loudly, claiming she was being arrested for no reason, especially since she was already at her vehicle, ready to leave. Her friends, recording the incident, shouted that the arrest was unfair, amplifying the chaos.
Why are you stepping up to me like that? Why don't you back up? Yeah, go over there. Come on. Because we don't need no more shit.
Right? We don't.
Really don't.
We don't need no more shit. Do we, officer?
Throughout the encounter, Ashley's frustration boiled over into personal attacks on the officers, questioning their motives and backgrounds. She referenced her status as a taxpayer, arguing that their actions were unjust. The officers maintained their professionalism, explaining that their decisions were based on evidence, including witness statements and potential video footage from the bar. Ashley's mention of a prior incident suggested a history that may have influenced the officers' response, though she dismissed its relevance.
Do that work. Do that work, bro.
I'm working.
Get that paycheck. Off the broke, bitches. Hey, do you go home and sleep at night? I'm just wondering. Do you sleep well?
I'm a good taxpayer too. So
Do you sleep well? Oh, I am a taxpayer, baby. Do you sleep well? Do you sleep well?
As the situation escalated, Ashley physically resisted arrest, leading to a tense struggle before she was placed in the patrol car. Her protests continued, echoing as she accused the officers of ignoring her compliance and acting on biased accounts. Her friends, still present, argued that more people vouched for her innocence than against it, but the officers emphasized that their decisions rested on evidence, not bystander opinions. The confrontation ended with Ashley being transported to jail, her protests ringing out as she was placed in the van. Her friends, free to leave, stayed to support her, frustrated by what they saw as an unjust arrest. The officers proceeded with their duties, coordinating with witnesses and bar staff to verify details, including Ashley's identity and the specifics of the incident.
No, I want to go home. No, fuck you. Why am I getting arrested, bitch? Why am I getting arrested?
In the aftermath of that April 28, 2022 night, Ashley Gerber faced serious charges reflecting the chaotic events: felony third-degree disorderly conduct, felony third-degree resisting an officer with violence, 2 counts of felony battery, 1 tied to a prior conviction, 2 counts of felony battery on a law enforcement officer, and a misdemeanor charge of disorderly intoxication. These accusations stemmed from the allegations of her actions inside the bar and her resistance during the arrest, marking a tumultuous end to a night that began with the promise of a good time. September 27, 2022, police responded to a call about an intoxicated woman in a driveway driving a silver Toyota. The caller reported her presence in their neighborhood, prompting officers to investigate. Upon arrival, they found the woman in her vehicle, appearing disoriented and engaged in a conversation about storm shutters.
You know those,
The woman explained she had been driving around her neighborhood, looking for someone to help her install storm shutters on her home. She mentioned stopping at a nearby house to inquire about assistance, claiming she didn't know the homeowner. When asked where she was, she insisted she was in her own neighborhood. Her speech was erratic, and she seemed confused, laughing and making disjointed remarks about storm preparations. Officers noted her behavior and asked if she had been drinking, to which she initially denied consuming any alcohol.
and I looked at him and I said, okay, you have all kinds of people helping you.
As the interaction continued, the woman grew agitated. She was asked to turn off her car and step out, but she hesitated, repeatedly mentioning her need to put up storm shutters. She referenced her recent errands, saying she had just gotten fuel and water. When pressed about her behavior, she became defensive, insisting she wasn't being treated seriously and denying any medical conditions like diabetes that might explain her demeanor.
I don't know.
Come on out of the car.
I want to go home.
Okay.
I live right over in here.
Officers observed signs of intoxication, her unsteady stance, the smell of alcohol, and her slurred speech. They asked her to exit the vehicle multiple times, but she resisted, focusing instead on rolling up her window. Her responses grew increasingly incoherent, and she expressed frustration, cursing and referencing a man she claimed was responsible for her situation. She accused this individual of influencing the police, though she provided no clear details about who he was or what he had done.
Oh God, you got a gun?
That's generally what police have.
Don't touch it.
I'm not.
Okay, step out.
The woman's agitation escalated as she was instructed to stand in front of her car. She continued to ramble about storm shutters and her interactions with neighbors, mentioning her past service in the National Guard. Officers attempted to calm her, but she became combative, questioning their actions and making sarcastic remarks about their appearance. When asked again about her alcohol consumption, she denied drinking, though her behavior suggested otherwise.
Okay, you want me to sit down?
No, not really.
Make you feel better.
Hey, ma'am.
As the situation intensified, the woman physically resisted officers' attempts to guide her. She pulled away when an officer touched her arm, leading to a struggle. She complained of pain, claiming the officers were hurting her, and referenced a hip replacement that made movement difficult. Despite her protest, officers noted that her resistance and actions, including grabbing an officer, constituted battery. She continued to argue, denying she was resisting and insisting she wasn't a bad person.
Listen, I said I don't.
Fucking pull my arm. You understand me?
The woman was eventually placed in a patrol car, but not without further resistance. She struggled to comply with instructions to sit properly, citing physical limitations. Officers assisted her, lifting her legs to help her into the vehicle, but she remained uncooperative, cursing and complaining about the discomfort of the handcuffs. She repeatedly asked not to be hurt and questioned why she was being laughed at, misinterpreting the officer's interactions with a bystander who had reported her.
I battered him?
Yeah, he did not want you to touch him, and you touched him. That's called battery.
Well, I didn't want him to touch me, and he was.
Throughout the encounter, the woman's focus shifted between her mission to find help with storm shutters, her frustration with the police, and her accusations against an unnamed man she believed had orchestrated her arrest. She acknowledged her mistake at one point, apologizing briefly before returning to her defensive stance. Officers conducted a pat-down search for safety, confirming she had no weapons, and retrieved her purse from her car, asking if she wanted to take it to jail.
That guy over there, that guy is the one that no one told me about.
As she was prepared for transport to Charlotte County Jail, the woman continued to protest, insisting she wasn't intoxicated and questioning the charges. She was informed she was being arrested for driving under the influence, DUI, resisting arrest, and battery on a law enforcement officer. Her behavior remained erratic, oscillating between cooperation and defiance as she was secured in the patrol car.
I'll try to find one of those vests.
Sit down, Regina. Come on.
You gonna push me? You have to push me.
The woman's actions led to formal charges of resisting arrest without violence, DUI, and battery on a law enforcement officer. She was later sentenced to 1 year of probation, required to complete community service, attend DUI school, and pay fines. On June 22, 2023, police officers responded to a disturbance at a local bar following a report of an altercation. Upon arrival, they were met outside by the bar manager and a male individual who was waiting to speak with them. The man explained that a female acquaintance, later identified as Chelsea, had pushed him off his chair inside the bar. Security personnel intervened, escorting her out of the establishment. However, Chelsea returned shortly after and continued her aggressive behavior, resulting in the man being pulled to the ground a second time.
I told my security guard to go stand at that bar in case she comes in, but he must have moved. So, do you want this guy's ID? Yeah.
The man recounted the events to the officers, visibly frustrated. He described how Chelsea, a woman with short red hair, approached him at the bar. She initially pulled him off his chair, causing him to fall. Security removed her from the premises, but she returned and repeated the assault, grabbing him by the hair and throwing him to the ground again. The bar manager corroborated the story, noting that security had been instructed to monitor the entrance to prevent her re-entry, but Chelsea managed to slip back inside when the guard briefly stepped away. Surveillance footage captured both incidents, clearly showing Chelsea's actions at approximately 12:14 a.m. The footage depicted her grabbing the man's chair, swinging him around, and forcing him to the ground.
Told my guy to stay in the bar. Like, dude, in case she comes back. So she comes in again. Yeah.
Do you know if this guy...
The man provided further details, stating he knew Chelsea from previous encounters. He mentioned meeting her at Rock House Live, where he used to work, and noted that she had been employed at several local establishments, including Sloppy Joe's, Waterfront Brewery, and Dante's, but had been fired from all of them. He also referenced her recent arrest on May 30th for trespassing and resisting arrest, suggesting she had a history of confrontational behavior. The man expressed reluctance to escalate the situation but felt compelled to protect himself, as Chelsea's actions were deliberate and malicious. He described the incidents as disruptive, noting that witnesses, including other patrons and the DJ, had seen both assaults. The DJ had physically intervened during the second incident, pulling Chelsea off the man.
You'll see the video. There's the one, and now there's another one I'm pulling right now.
Officers reviewed the surveillance footage, which clearly showed Chelsea grabbing the man by the hair and pushing him down. The man confirmed he wanted to press charges for battery, citing the repeated nature of the attacks and Chelsea's apparent disregard for consequences. He also expressed interest in obtaining a restraining order, emphasizing that he was not a troublemaker and wanted to avoid further issues. He mentioned his familiarity with the bar, where he was a regular, and his occasional work in security, underscoring that he did not want Chelsea's actions to disrupt his life or the bar's operations.
How you doing?
All good?
The officer attempted to contact Chelsea by phone to hear her side of the story before proceeding with any warrants. He left a voicemail identifying himself as Officer Guba from the local police department and requesting a callback to discuss the reported battery. He warned that failure to respond by morning would result in the initiation of a warrant process. Despite efforts to locate her, Chelsea was not immediately found in the area. The officer patrolled nearby, encountering intoxicated individuals, but no sign of Chelsea. While writing the report, the officer received a tip that Chelsea was near Sloppy Joe's, a few blocks away.
Chelsea! Get over here, Chelsea! Okay, put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your back.
Acting on this information, the officer approached Chelsea, instructing her to place her hands behind her back. She initially resisted, pulling away and questioning the reason for her arrest. The officer informed her she was under arrest for battery, explaining that video evidence clearly showed her pulling a man by the hair and pushing him to the ground. Chelsea denied the allegations, claiming she was unaware of the officer's identity and had not heard his commands to stop. She argued that the officer failed to announce himself properly, though he countered that she had looked directly at him and was warned by a friend about the police presence. Her resistance during the arrest led to additional charges.
I'm trying to figure out why you.
Okay, I'll tell you in a second.
Okay, please do.
But by me placing you in handcuffs and you pulling away.
Well, yeah, I don't know who you are. You scared me a little bit.
I'm an
At the
officer.
detention center, Chelsea's confrontational attitude persisted as she refused to follow deputies' instructions. The man's consistent references to her prior arrest on May 30th for trespassing and resisting arrest highlighted her pattern of behavior. Ultimately, Chelsea was charged with 2 counts of battery and resisting arrest. An order of protection was also issued to prevent further contact with the victim. On February 10, 2023, police in Wausau, Wisconsin were dispatched to a residence following reports of a possible physical disturbance. The incident involved 18-year-old Anna Kostecki, who had become assaultive after discovering that her sister had discarded $100 worth of alleged cocaine, which was stored in a prescription bottle. Anna's sister, aware of her struggles with substance abuse, had taken the step to prevent her access to the drugs. The situation escalated into a physical altercation with household members, prompting Anna to leave the residence in a black vehicle.
We're still rolling southbound on the exit ramp to 52 Parkway.
While en route to the scene, an officer noticed a black vehicle matching the description provided by dispatch passing by. The officer turned around and initiated a traffic stop. The vehicle, driven by 33-year-old Von Lohr, did not immediately pull over, continuing at a slow pace of about 10 miles per hour, failing to yield despite the officer's red and blue lights. The officer eventually directed Vaughn to stop the car and step out. Vaughn complied, explaining that he was simply picking Anna up at her request and was unaware of the details of the earlier incident. He questioned why he hadn't stopped sooner, citing his reluctance to halt in the middle of traffic, though the officer pointed out that he had safely exited the highway.
Was it on the highway that entire road?
It wasn't a registered car, so I just recently bought the car, so I just took it for a test drive.
Typically red and blue lights mean stop, right?
Right.
Right.
I just want to stop right in the middle of traffic, you know.
The officer then spoke with Anna, who was a passenger in Vaughn's vehicle. Anna denied any physical altercation at her mother's residence, claiming the conflict stemmed from her drinking, which had strained her relationship with her mother over the past few days. She admitted to consuming alcohol that evening, but insisted that no physical fight occurred, only arguments about her drinking. Anna's demeanor was initially cooperative, but she grew increasingly agitated as the interaction continued. She confirmed she was on probation for prior incidents and agreed to a preliminary breath test, which registered a blood alcohol content of 0.169, indicating intoxication.
You know Anna through friends, did she tell you anything that happened there?
No.
Did you know anything that was going on over there?
No.
Alright, Anna. So I just want to let you know.
Meanwhile, dispatch informed the officer that Vaughn had 2 active warrants. When confronted, Vaughn claimed ignorance of the warrants and expressed frustration, arguing that he was only involved because he was helping Anna. He accused the police of unfairly targeting him while letting Anna, whom he described as intoxicated, walk free. The officer clarified that Vaughn's warrants necessitated his arrest, independent of Anna's situation, and that other officers were addressing her case separately. Vaughn's frustration escalated, and he made comments about perceived racial bias, noting that he, an Asian man, was being arrested while Anna, a white woman, was not immediately detained. The officer attempted to de-escalate, focusing on the procedural necessity of addressing the warrants.
Alright, go ahead and just turn around for me, okay? Hands on your back. You have warrants out for your arrest, did you know that?
No.
When's the last time you saw your PO?
What's that? He's got warrants.
Anna, meanwhile, became increasingly uncooperative. She made a phone call to her mother, begging to be picked up and insisting she had done nothing wrong. She claimed her boyfriend Ethan had pushed her down the stairs, a detail she hadn't mentioned earlier. As officers continued to investigate, Anna's behavior grew erratic. She was flagged in the department's records as a 10-0 for officer safety, indicating a history of volatile interactions with police. When an officer arrived from her mother's residence with additional information, including evidence of incriminating messages sent by Anna, she was asked to cooperate further. Instead, she attempted to flee, prompting officers to restrain her. Anna resisted, refusing to release her hands and kicking at the officers, which led to her being decentralized and placed in a squad car with a protective helmet to prevent self-harm.
Want to do this? Stand up.
You take the left.
During the transport to the sheriff's department, Anna continued to protest, claiming she was being unfairly targeted and demanding her vape, which she said was dead. She oscillated between pleading for leniency and lashing out, accusing the officers of misconduct. At the jail, a search of Anna revealed 2 smoking devices commonly used for methamphetamine and THC. The substance found in her bedroom, initially believed to be cocaine, tested positive for 12.92 grams of methamphetamine. On September 7th, 2023, at an airport terminal, a chaotic scene unfolded as airport officers responded to a report of an intoxicated passenger causing a disturbance. The woman, who had reportedly been disruptive at one gate, had moved to another area of the terminal. When officers approached her to check on her well-being, the interaction quickly escalated into a contentious confrontation marked by her erratic behavior, accusations, and resistance.
I went to go check in to my flight. I was just trying to get to my friend. I'm trying to get to my friend.
The officers found the woman seated near a gate, appearing disoriented and under the influence. When asked if she was all right, she responded defensively, saying she didn't like people lying to her and insisting she was fine. Her speech was slurred and disjointed as she rambled about trying to get to her flight to Seattle to visit a friend. She claimed she hadn't done anything wrong, but her behavior suggested otherwise. She admitted to having consumed 2 glasses of wine, though the officers noted she reeked of alcohol and appeared heavily intoxicated.
Honestly, like, I didn't do anything. Like, I was like, hey, like, I'm trying to go here, like, and I was like, I'm trying to, and they were like, and I got my friend on the phone, they're all law enforcement, we're all law enforcement, I'm not, but all of them are, so, and then for them to sit there and just, like, react the way they...
The woman's account of events was muddled. She mentioned an earlier incident at Gate 26, but provided no clear details, only vaguely stating that everybody was reacting to her and that she was trying to get information about her flight, which had reportedly changed. She grew agitated, accusing airline staff and law enforcement of unfairly targeting her. She repeatedly referenced her connections to law enforcement, claiming her uncle might have trained the officers and that her father was a lawyer, suggesting she believed these ties should afford her special treatment.
So when I had to drink tonight, I didn't have anything to drink tonight before that happened. And then I started drinking after that. Does that matter?
When did this happen? Because we just got called.
It happened after.
You have like a time frame, or?
As the officers tried to de-escalate the situation, they explained they were not airline employees but airport police, there to ensure everyone's safety. They informed her that American Airlines had denied her boarding, likely due to her intoxicated state, and that she was no longer considered a ticketed passenger. The officers directed her to gather her belongings and leave the secure area of the terminal, as only ticketed passengers were allowed to remain. However, the woman refused to comply, growing increasingly belligerent and uncooperative.
That's what I'm trying to ask too, the same thing. I've nothing, the girl's got something with me, that's cool. But what she needs to do is go back to school.
The situation escalated further when the officers warned her that failure to leave could result in a trespassing charge. She continued to resist, accusing the officers of attacking her and insisting that everything be recorded. She repeatedly demanded that cameras be on, seemingly convinced that the footage would exonerate her. Her behavior became physical as she kicked an officer, leading to her arrest. Even during the arrest, she struggled, yelling for the officers to get off her and claiming she was being tortured. She accused the officers of assaulting her, despite evidence that she had initiated physical contact.
You are. All right. Well, stand up. I told you to leave. Don't resist. I'm not doing that. Stand up. You're under arrest. Put your hands behind your back, or I'll add resisting. Are you going to continue to resist?
Grab my phone.
I'm not worried about your phone. Put your hands behind your back right now.
Throughout the ordeal, the woman's sense of entitlement was evident. She repeatedly invoked her family connections, claiming her father and uncle's influence would cost the officers their jobs. She expressed disbelief that she was being treated this way, even denying the existence of God and Jesus, saying they wouldn't allow such treatment to happen to her. Her outbursts included insults and threats, such as telling the officers they were liars and would face consequences. She demanded to be released and refused to answer basic questions about her medical conditions or medications, focusing instead on her grievances and perceived injustices.
You're gonna try to get her up? We don't even have a car here. Just kick me. I know. We can go out 30.
As the officers attempted to calm her and complete the arrest process, she continued to resist, both verbally and physically. She insisted on knowing if cameras were recording, believing the footage would support her claims. Despite her combative behavior, the officers remained professional, repeatedly assuring her that everything was being recorded and that she would have the opportunity to make phone calls once processed. Eventually, she was restrained and escorted out of the terminal, still shouting about her connections and the perceived unfairness of the situation.
Put the cameras on! Put the cameras on!
The incident highlights a complex interplay of intoxication, entitlement, and resistance to authority. The woman's belief that her family ties to law enforcement should exempt her from consequences suggests a sense of privilege that can complicate interactions with authorities. Such attitudes can create challenges for law enforcement, who must balance maintaining order with managing individuals who feel above the rules. The officers in this case demonstrated patience, repeatedly attempting to de-escalate the situation before resorting to arrest when her behavior became physically aggressive. Was ultimately charged with public intoxication, resisting arrest, and assaulting a public servant. These charges reflect the seriousness of her actions, from her disruptive behavior in a public space to her physical resistance against law enforcement officers attempting to maintain safety and order. On March 10, 2024, officers responded to a call reporting 2 unconscious adults and a little girl who appeared unresponsive. Upon arrival, officers noticed that all 3 were lying next to each other, prompting an immediate investigation.
Grant County 911, what is the address of your emergency?
97 Quail Run.
Okay, tell me exactly what happened.
I'm staying with some friends right now, and they are completely. We have a little girl who's not responsive at all. Then they have a 7-year-old boy who is mostly responsive. I was able to get him on a chair, but I don't know what's going on. Okay. I really don't. I woke up and I heard someone yelling, "Ow, help!" And so I went in and I was trying to help them.
Okay, give me a second while I get them started on their way, okay?
What's going on?
Some of the people in the room right here that aren't responding.
They're not responding?
There's 2, one that's not responding.
Where at? In this one? Who's here? Sheriff's office.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Not much. Sorry, I'm really stiff this morning. I can't get it up right.
Are you guys on anything?
Initial observations revealed that the entire family lived in an extremely messy room. What shocked officers most was a boy who appeared weak and unresponsive, while his parents were sleeping soundly until they were woken up.
Okay. Who's not responsive?
Not responsive?
The girl in the middle.
The girl, she's responsive.
Let me see.
Yeah.
You guys need to move.
Yes.
Move.
Oh, shit.
You guys need to get up now.
Yeah.
Get up.
We're getting up.
Get up.
We're getting up. I'm getting up.
Let's go. Get up.
Yes. I'm getting up.
Let's go. Hurry up. Get up.
I'm going.
You guys need to get out.
Yes, sir.
Let's go. Hurry up.
I'm going.
While the woman claimed that her stiff body prevented her from sitting up and moving, the man appeared quite unaware of what was happening. Officers promptly approached the little boy and offered help, but he seemed too weak to stand on his own feet.
Let's go, get up. Leave her alone. Do not touch her. Get up. Go get the other deputies now. Go get them. Let's go, get up.
Hey. What is it?
Go get it, 10-7.
Where?
Right here.
Okay.
Move, get up, yes.
Get up now! Get up! Get out! I don't care. Stand up.
Let's go. Where's your shoes at?
How long? Hondo?
Pretty
check
old.
Check his vitals. Did y'all smoke dope?
Huh?
No. What is it?
Your leg hurts? Hey, send a 55 for him.
Check his vitals. Did y'all smoke dope?
Huh?
No.
Fentanyl? What is it?
No, it's not fentanyl. We just fell asleep really hard. We're really sick.
55 for him.
32 Central, start at 55.
Let's go. Want me to carry you? Come here. Come here. I'll carry you.
The investigation took an unexpected turn when officers discovered that the little girl was no longer breathing. Realizing the seriousness of the situation, officers placed the two suspects under arrest. Physical obstruction was also observed.
Where is this going?
Stand up! Now!
Okay.
I'm not gonna tell you again! Stand up!
I'm standing up. I'm trying to stand up.
Give me your other arm.
Yeah. Ow.
Stand up! I'm not gonna tell you again!
I'm really trying to stand up. Okay?
God damn it, dude. Stand up!
I'm trying to stand up. 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 Can't see.
Medics were immediately called to the scene to provide medical attention to the boy. Despite being in extreme fear, he was able to give officers direct responses about his sister, who had just turned 5 one day earlier.
Are you okay?
I'm just older.
How old is your sister?
Just turned 5 yesterday.
She just turned 5? She's 10-7.
What happened?
I don't know.
God damn it. I got you. I got you, baby. Come on. I got you. I got you, baby. I know. Hey, she's still alive. Hey, start CPR. She's still alive. She's still alive. Come on. Come on. Hello, baby. Hello, baby. Hello, baby. Is there anybody behind me, sir?
No. No.
Hey, we gotta meet this. We gotta.
Come on. Come here. You're okay. Come here.
A brief discussion among officers revealed that the two children had been mistreated over the past 2 months. The little boy even had scratches and marks on his back. It was shocking to learn that they had not eaten anything for 2 days.
I looked at her and it was just... She was already gone. I felt her... I wasn't wearing gloves. I just felt her leg and she was stiff and cold. So I tried getting the dad. I tried getting him up. They couldn't get up. I tried to put him in.
Did you Narcan someone?
I tried to, but Lau already did before.
Get him again?
Because we were out here. I had the sun. I put on my hood and Lau comes running. She said she's still alive, so he Narcaned her right here. I don't know what he was feeling, but I don't think she was.
No, they said she was been gone for a while.
Probably a death battle. It was her birthday yesterday. I know.
Did they take the 2 kids or?
I have both of them in my room.
Are they?
One's gone.
One is gone. No one's gone.
She's been gone.
I thought so. I picked her up. I heard something, so I was like, possibly.
Yeah.
But she felt too. She felt too stiff. That's what I was gonna say. And the other kid?
He's doing good. He's got a couple of marks. I wouldn't quite say it was like abuse. He's got a mark here and then a scratch on his back. He said he hasn't eaten since Friday. And I asked him what was going on, and he said we are all just cold.
In the end, The father was charged with intentional child abuse, resulting in death and child abandonment, while the mother faced charges of intentional child abuse, resulting in death and a first-time child-related offense. As of December 2024, their trial was still ongoing. And this was the outcome of an abusive father who thought he could lie to officers to get out of arrest. On September 11th, 2022, officers were dispatched to a residence in response to a call reporting a father who had abused his 15-year-old daughter. Upon arrival, officers noticed that the man was hiding in the bathroom while the victim was placed in a car.
Where did it happen at?
He kept her out at the marathon in the truck all night long, night before last. And I kept telling him to bring her back here, bring her back here. Now, I'm not her mom, but she's like my child, you know?
Where's her mom?
He got custody of her.
Yeah.
You know? And she's so terrified. But, I mean, you call, you gotta talk to them, you gotta show them. Because that's the only way things are gonna get resolved. If that's really how you feel and it's the truth, then you gotta speak up. Silence is never heard. And you know, I never tell you nothing wrong. But see, why he's saying he called the cops on me for having you in my car right now, he's sitting there saying he's not home because they're here. See what I'm saying? Just scared. I don't like that.
You told me not to tell him nothing about this. You told me not to tell him nothing about this.
But unfortunately, that's the situation when you call the cops. Right. You have to get some type of information because eventually somebody's going to end up going to jail for them coming out here.
Initial observations revealed that the girl was in extreme fear due to her father's violence. It was reported that she was badly hit when she tried to get out of her father's vehicle after a marathon. The investigation then continued with an interview of the caller.
You got you by your what? Got your brakes, you said? Because you were trying to get out of the car? Why didn't you call the police after? You couldn't? This is the first time you can call? Yeah, I understand. Where were you staying before? You've been staying here since last time I seen you here? Yeah? What kind of injuries do you have? Dad? Scratch on your face? Lip? He was hitting you and stuff like that? You have something on your chest as well? Is that your dad's brother? I meant sister.
A quick interview with the caller revealed that she was the father's friend. What shocked officers was that the suspect verbally admitted to his acts of violence against his daughter. When the caller attempted to rescue the girl, he threatened to have her arrested for kidnapping.
I said, yeah, I choked her, I snatched her hair out, you know. He actually verbally admitted it to me just now. I said, so if you would have took her out, how would you have felt? Because you want her so much around you, but if you take her out, how would you feel? He's like, I wouldn't have killed my baby, man. I love my baby. I'm like, but you hurt her. But one person she thought would never hurt her, hurt her. So now she doesn't trust me anymore. She's so terrified to go in the house and all these people are her to come home. Because she's so terrified, she doesn't want to go. He threatened me this morning if I didn't bring her back this morning, he was going to have me arrested for kidnapping. I said, how can I get arrested for kidnapping when you willingly, openly gave her to me yesterday?
Right.
You brought her to me.
About what time did you bring her to you yesterday?
Like 3, 4.
Following directions, officers located the suspect, who was trying to hide inside the house. When questioned, he claimed that his daughter had behaved disrespectfully toward him. Apart from denying any wrongdoing, the father even fabricated a story about the girl going to jail.
You want to know what's going on with her?
Yes.
All right, check it out. Okay, so we argue and very stern. You know what I'm saying? She has a mouth. She disrespects me, whatnot. So I had some people here that had no business here. I've been told to leave. She wanted to come home. I said, no, you're not coming home. Now, what's disturbing her is that y'all gonna get and she's scared of going to jail. Now, I don't know, it's because I started to call y'all early. They're dead serious. She hasn't been home the entire night. You feel me? I dropped her off with my homegirl right there. Come to find out, she with the people that I put out my house. Now, whatever happened between last night and her linking back up with them this morning, I have no clue.
All right, let's talk about the night before, over by the marathon.
Officers had enough of his lies and decided to place him under arrest. It was appalling to hear that he called his daughter for help after making her suffer such trauma. If not for the friend's kindness, the girl could have been killed.
And I was out of control. Chris, I ain't do this, bro. Okay. I'm telling you, God, shoot, bro. Ain't none of them. Ain't none of them.
Okay.
Ain't none of them. Right, listen.
Can you transport him while I take care of the...
Hold on, wait a minute. Because she's gonna tell you, she gonna have to tell you, listen, them people that got in her ear, bro. I'm telling you the truth. Before you take me in, she don't understand how serious.
I understand, but we can go to that and talk to her. Okay.
Hey, Mary. Come on, man. Come on, man. Hey, Chris, before you take me, can I get some water? Please, bro.
Hold on.
Please, bro. Hey, Mary, you gonna have to help me, bro.
Hey.
Them people that got in your head bad. Baby, please. Hey, hold on. Hey, listen.
Sir, you need, I'll let the window down for
Yes,
you,
sir.
okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, he's trying to get her to... It's not, he's trying to talk to her.
Right, trying to talk her down.
I need her to go to the hospital.
Okay.
After being taken to officers' squad car, the suspect continued to behave belligerently by banging his head on the windows. The situation worsened for the girl when she appeared extremely distressed upon seeing her father again, so she was taken to the hospital.
Bro, I ain't do nothing wrong.
Mr.
I ain't do nothing wrong, Chriso.
Mr. Crawford.
Chriso, it's not me.
You're gonna need to calm down, okay?
Chriso, it's not me, bro. So before you leave,
you don't want to get in any more trouble.
Chriso, it's not me, bro.
I'm trying to tell you to stop. All right.
It's killing her that he has to even go. But at the same time, she's scared of him. So how do you...
It's gonna work out, hon.
Yeah,
well, just relax. We'll do it. Take a few breaths and try to talk to me, okay? Just this is all gonna work out.
The man was ultimately charged with child neglect without great bodily harm, for which he could face a fine of up to $1,000 and a jail term of up to 1 year. You may not believe, but this woman was caught with her pants down in public. On April 8th, 2023, officers noticed a parked vehicle on the road and quickly discovered two individuals engaging in an intimate activity. The investigation began immediately after both individuals were asked to step out of the car.
On April 8, 2023, while on patrol, an officer observed a vehicle with two occupants inside that were engaged in sexual activity.
Thank you. All right, sit tight real quick for me. You guys back dressed yet? Yes, sir. You dressed, Joe? Yes, sir. I'm talking to her. You dressed? Yeah. All right, hop out with me. Ma'am, you could hop out with me?
I'm sorry?
Hop out with me. Appreciate you. Just stand right here for me. Stand with your feet together, hands out your side just like this. I'll look at your eyes really quick. Don't move your head, just follow your eyes, alright? Okay. Robert, here's this back.
Sir.
A quick interview with the man revealed that they had consumed some drinks, so officers wanted to check whether he was sober enough. It was made clear that someone would take him home rather than him driving himself.
Right, you're free to leave. I wouldn't recommend you drive though, okay? Because Because if you get in your car, I'm going to arrest you for DUI. Okay, understand? So good. If you want to get on your phone and go ahead and start calling somebody, go right ahead, all right? Ma'am, right now I'm going to conduct a DUI investigation to determine if you're impaired to the point your normal faculties are being affected. Do you understand that? All right. The reason behind that, you're in active physical control of a motor vehicle, all right? All right, even though you weren't driving, you're sitting in the parking lot, you're behind the driver's seat, your vehicle's on, it's running. You're going to drive after you had sex with this young gentleman, okay? You understand? Get where it's coming from? Okay. All right, in order to do that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you to perform as a series of tasks. Those tasks are
After the man was allowed to leave, officers requested that the woman take some field sobriety tests. She appeared very calm and listened attentively to the officer's instructions, indicating compliance.
What I'm going to have you do is you're going to look at my pen, and you're going to follow it with your eyes and your eyes only, okay? During that entire time, I don't want you to move your head. I just want you to follow with your eyes, okay? So follow with your eyes, okay? Make sure you're following with your eyes. Keep your eyes on it. Keep on.
It was also reported that the woman and the man had met for the first time on the day of the incident. Since the woman found the man attractive, both of them wanted to engage in that intimate activity. However, officers spotted them just in time.
I feel fine.
Okay. Do you feel impaired at all?
No.
Do you feel buzzed?
No.
No. Okay. And is that your vehicle, the Mustang?
Yes.
All right. And just to confirm, what was going on when I first arrived?
It was the first time that I met him, and I was just I liked him, and I was attracted to him, so I wanted to, be attracted to him.
Okay.
But
Is that why your pants were off and his pants were off?
yeah,
Okay. And after you all finished that, what were you going to do?
absolutely nothing. I was going to go home.
You're going to go home, and where's home?
On Alafaya.
Alafaya? Okay. Alrighty. Let's walk over this way for me. Do you have any tattoos that I need to know of?
I do.
Where?
I have a couple.
Where?
I have a little one here.
Okay.
On my arm.
Okay.
On my hip.
Okay.
On this hip. And on my leg.
Okay. Where it on your leg?
On my ankle.
Okay. And just chill right there by my back tire. Does he have a ride coming?
He's trying to call something.
When the field sobriety tests were completed, officers concluded that the woman was under the influence of alcohol and decided to place her under arrest. The woman seemed quite surprised and verbally resisted, but it had no effect on the arrest.
To the point your normal
But why
faculties
did
are
you pull me over?
First of all, if you don't turn around, you're going to get charged.
But why did you pull me over? I'm just wondering.
Because you're having sex in a parking lot.
Why did
I just
you
told
pull
you
me
that.
over?
I just told you. Because you're having sex in a parking lot.
Why are you guys here?
I just told you. Turn around.
Why?
Turn around. I'm not going to play with you. This isn't how it goes. We're not doing roadside roads. And I told you multiple times already. You don't have sex in a parking lot, okay?
But why were you guys called?
Nobody called. I was doing my job and patrolling.
But why
the
were you
neighborhood.
guys called?
Nobody was called.
But why did you guys come?
Because it's my job to patrol.
But why did you guys come?
Stop.
But why did you guys come?
Hold on.
I mean, I don't understand why it's that hard to tell me why.
Because there's no
And then I can tell you why.
There is no reason.
Why the fuck isn't there a reason? There has to be a reason why you guys are doing this. Why the fuck is there a reason why you're pulling me over?
What's your name, ma'am? Ma'am, I gotta be able to identify you so you can bond out tonight.
What's the reason?
I work here at the jail. You've been arrested for DUI among other things, but I'm trying to get you processed so you can bond out. I need to know your name, ma'am.
I would like to know the reason why.
After further investigation, the woman was charged with resisting an officer without violence, fraud for providing a false ID, DUI, and fraud for displaying another person's driver's license. She was sentenced to 9 months of probation, DUI school, a victim awareness program, 100 hours of community service, and fines. Can you guess the outcome of a sovereign citizen who thought she owned a dealership in the US? On December 11th, 2023, in Washington, officers were dispatched to a Chevrolet dealership in response to a woman who refused to leave. It was reported that the woman believed the dealership belonged to her and claimed to have sufficient paperwork to prove it.
Police Department's looking at me, not even recorded, okay?
Okay.
So, what's going on today?
So I have a vehicle here that I should be able to pick up with my name on it, and I have the paperwork to prove it, and I own the dealership.
Okay.
To my awareness, I own the dealership outright. The FBI could validate that. If there's a mistake in communication. Either way, I have the paperwork to prove that I'm supposed to pick up this vehicle. It's mine. And I think they just don't have it. Is what I think is happening, because I've been told they don't have it. And I've been really sick and not had a chance to come and get it. And I've had problems every time I come to get it. It's never simple enough, and I just don't like problems.
Is this your vehicle?
Yeah.
Okay. Copy, I have a plate for you. Charles John George 8170. Do you have a license? Can I take a look at it? Just so I know who you are?
Yeah, sorry.
So is it Maka? Is that how you pronounce it? Ma'am?
Upon arrival, officers found that the woman was still in her vehicle. What surprised them was that she insisted on seeing an officer's badge number, as she believed the deputies were aliens. It seemed that the woman was not in a stable state of mind.
Why is that?
Because I'm not dealing with aliens, I'm dealing with people.
Okay, so Machka, here's what's going to happen, okay? The general manager...
You have no right to trespass me, I've done nothing wrong. You cannot ticket me and you cannot arrest me, I'm the chosen one.
I don't want to take you or arrest you, I'm just going to read you the admonishment and then you're free to leave.
No, you need to understand something. I have paperwork right here that proves that I have a vehicle with my name on it that I'm supposed to be allowed to pick up. I also own the dealership. He's fired. You need to do your homework before you make a decision, because I will make sure you don't have a job.
So this is a coupled up like pamphlet, okay?
I know, it's not in good shape, so what? It still is what it is. It's a document.
I'm going to read this to you. It says, I'm no longer permitted,
I have
invited,
proof right
licensed,
here.
or
If you look on the
otherwise
computer,
privileged to
I'm not
enter,
listening
phone, or
to you.
mail the applications. Machka, you're trespassed. If you don't leave, we're going to arrest you.
Police then.
Okay, we're going to arrest you if you don't leave.
Tension escalated when the woman displayed an uncooperative attitude and refused to leave the property. Despite being informed of a potential trespassing charge, she stubbornly argued and even threatened to have the officer lose his job.
We're making a bigger deal out of this than we need to. Machka.
Can you not touch my door?
Okay. I don't want to make a big deal out of this,
I don't
okay?
care what you do.
You can just go. You can just go.
Anyways, I need somebody to come in.
We don't want to have to...
This guy needs to be fired, and I'm getting in touch with the president, so I'm getting pissed. Alright, thank you. Biden!
Okay, Machka.
Handle this, please, before I freaking lose it.
Can we please just leave? That's all I'm asking.
No.
Okay?
No,
Why?
I want my
You do not have a car here.
Okay, dude, do your homework. At least do your job.
I'm trying to.
At least do your job. Then figure it out. Because this is proof right here. They owe me this vehicle. My name is already on it. My name is on all these vehicles. So at least exhaust your options first. You're not doing your job because you haven't done an investigation thoroughly.
Okay. So I honestly, if I just don't want to arrest you and I don't want them to tow your car.
There were no visible changes in the woman's behavior after some time. Though the officer patiently explained that it was time for her to leave, she refused to listen and continued to talk nonsense, including claiming ownership of the entire United States.
Okay.
He's not getting away from
So
my
I'm having a third
door.
officer come. Listen.
Good, do it.
Okay.
Do it.
If you're not willing to leave by the time that third
Okay,
officer gets
thank
here,
you.
we're going to arrest you out of the car.
Can you close my door? Thank you.
Are you going to drive away and leave?
No, I'm not.
Okay. Then we're not going to do this because
Close the door.
I don't want you to barricade in your car.
I'm not gonna barricade in my car.
Yeah,
you're not even a cop.
You're
Get a life, dude.
You're
Go get a security job because you're not a cop. You're a alien. Get the away from me.
They wanted her trespass. Go get the car sign.
They can't trespass me. I own this dealership.
You already have one.
I own the dealership.
Confirm that.
You guys are both done.
Okay, I've given you numerous
Okay,
opportunities.
I'm giving you the opportunity. Do you want to go to Junior Land or do you want to be allowed on Earth? Because I own the United States. Which would you like? Junior Land or Earth?
I don't
Junior
want to
Land
arrest
or
you.
Earth? You can't.
I don't. We're going to. When my
Then do
sergeant
it.
gets here, we're going to arrest you.
I bet you're not.
We are. Because I've given you every opportunity to leave. They want you trespassed.
Okay.
We're getting the admonishment signed right now.
Sure. Did you hear that? You're fired. Did you hear that part?
When warnings and threats proved ineffective, officers decided they had to take firm action to remove the woman. By the time she finally decided to leave, it was too late. She had already forced officers to put her in handcuffs for non-compliance.
Not a done.
Who's Junior?
Okay, I'm leaving.
No.
I'm leaving. Get off of me. He's hurting me. He's hurting me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
Yeah, we're good.
Don't touch me. I said don't touch me. Get off. Jesus, what the fuck? Dude, what the You guys are letting this shit happen. What are the
Okay. Machka, relax.
Relax.
You're under arrest for trespassing, okay?
What are they doing?
You're under arrest for trespassing, okay?
What are the you doing? Dude, I can't even breathe.
We're covering custody.
It was astonishing to see how quickly the woman changed into a weak and subdued person upon being detained. If not for her stubbornness, she could have gone home safely in her own vehicle rather than being handcuffed and taken to jail.
I can't breathe.
Just sit where you're at. Take some deep breaths.
I don't feel good.
Let's stand. Let's stand up now then. Let's stand up.
Kill me, God.
No. Come on, Naka. Let's stand up.
Get off of me.
Okay, we gotta hold on to you, but let's stand up like you
Get
asked.
off of me. Let me go.
We'll put her in your car.
You guys are in so much trouble.
Come on, hurry, set up.
You're
You were
so
given many warnings.
You guys can't do this. I can't do this. I'm leaving.
You're gonna hurt yourself if you follow the building.
Stop. I'm not doing anything. You guys can't do this. You cannot do this. You don't get arrested for trespassing. God, what is going on? Call another cop. I want a badge number. Let go of me. You guys.
I offered you to cancel.
You can't do this. You cannot do this. You can't
I don't know
do
where the plan to
this.
take her in. She has complained so far.
You cannot. You guys are all gonna be fired. I can't believe you're letting them do this to me.
The woman was arrested and charged with trespassing and resisting arrest. If found guilty, she could face a fine of up to $750 and probation of up to 12 months.
Welcome to Speed Bodycam channel, where we share police bodycam footage. We are a dedicated team focused on creating educational and engaging content about law enforcement. Using AI and advanced technology combined with editing skill, we carefully craft our own authentic videos. Our editing team worked hard to highlight the emotional and real-life challenge officers face every day. Through impactful storytelling, we bring this story to life and share important lessons to raise awareness about the need to respect and comply with law enforcement. Please note that the content we present is not intended to promote or glorify violence, nor to condemn any individual or organization. We share this video for educational purposes, reporting and encouraging compliance with law and law enforcement in your area. Additionally, our bodycam footage is edited for brevity and to comply with YouTube's community guidelines. focusing on journalistic integrity while bringing both entertainment and meaningful lessons. We appreciate YouTube for providing a wonderful platform to reach viewers and share valuable content worldwide. Our audience support is a huge motivation for us to continue producing meaningful content every day, and it means so much to us. Thank you for being a part of the Speed Bodycam community.
That's all for today's episode. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and share your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.